Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Cane Corso. So I wanted to do a little video with Vienna. This is Vienna. She, while looking brown, is actually a seal Corso. That's what that color is called, seal. Now, she's probably the second most extreme seal that I've ever seen in color. There's one other one that my best friend produced. Nice, they almost took out my tree. Always lovely. And, yeah, you gotta watch out now. You can't take things too seriously with these dogs. Don't run into me. Yeah, if they're running around behind you, always pay attention, because you'll get knocked right on down. They'll try to use you as the wall. Like when people are in a racing game, you just bounce right off of it to slow down or stop. That's how these dogs will act if you're not watching. So Vienna is out of Mona and Mad Mortigan. I don't know if you can tell by her coat. It's actually not horrible, but it very, very much is her mother's coat. Sweet baby. What was that? What was that? You got scared, sweet baby. So this is a dog that, watch out for my dress, or my nightgown, you baby girl. This is a dog that hasn't been out a whole lot, and so she didn't quite know what I was doing, and that's fine. You're fine. Look at you, you're all excited now. You're all excited now. And decided I'd bring her out. We have quite a few dogs now, and I like to try to manage personalities and stuff, so I don't always bring everybody out together or anything like that. I will say she's quite large. She's actually, oh gosh, I want to say she's like 7 months old. Kubrick is 9 months old, and Kubrick is a big boy. So she's a pretty decently sized girl. It was a good pairing, because both parents are quite large, between Mad Mortigan and Mona. What you doing, girl? I've also got Jolene out here. As usual, she's doing really well. Very confident, very happy girl. She's truly a blessing. She's very sweet and very easy. I haven't had any issues with her whatsoever, which is not always common. Usually there's at least something you got to do. You know what I mean? Like Corso or just often have, they're a hard breed. You know what I mean? So when you get one that's just really easy, it's a blessing. So the reason that I never had Vienna out too much, I have had her out before, but the reason I never had her out too much is because she's a little bit more of like a gentle soul. I would say she's more like, like Ferdinand, in the story Ferdinand, how he really didn't want to go and play and fight with all the other bulls. He'd rather sit under the flowers or sit under the tree and smell flowers. That's like Vienna. She likes to play. She's a good dog. She's very sweet, but she's not like a dominant dog. And that's a good thing. Not everybody can be dominant. She was specifically chosen for her structure. When I did that pairing, it became apparent that, so my Mortigan has a pretty straight shoulder, and it causes his shoulder blade to be farther up in the neck, which makes the neck look shorter. And I'm not the biggest fan of that trait. For me, there are certain faults, and a fault is anything that is not correct. There are different degrees of faults, so I wouldn't say that his shoulder lay is the worst I've ever seen. There was a pretty popular dog in Texas that was being used. He was an import that had an absolutely horrible shoulder lay, and super straight upper arm too, and it just looked horrible. But But he does have that to some degree. So knowing that he has it and knowing that he throws it, I wanted to be sure that I did not select back a puppy that had it. And so that's what I did. And overall, she's a really good dog. She's not a bad dog. And like I said, she's only 7 months old. So there's a lot of bone. Her head almost looks small compared to how much bone and size she has in her body right now. She's literally, like if you see how thick she is here. Kubo, come here. Come here. Come here. And see how thick she is. She's as thick as him, and she's months younger than him. So she's going to be a big old girl, and there's some awkwardness that comes with that. But having said that, I think she looks pretty well balanced right now. She's kind of long in the leg, and she'll get her length back. Because she actually was, I remember whenever I stacked her out, she looked really nice. And I was really happy. So anyway, so she's a good dog, and we're looking forward to using her and seeing what we get. So, but I find this coat color to be very unique. Now, I will tell you that while there's a lot of people in the Corso community that are really they don't spend a lot of time educating themselves on the nuance of the breed. They spend a lot of time on Facebook participating in drama and just really inconsequential things. But this is not a chocolate dog, as someone tried to insinuate the last time that I think Reese produced a female that looked the same color. She might have even been lighter. I think she was lighter actually, but very similar, especially in the light. And somebody was like trying to insinuate that it was a chocolate dog, and then they were trying to attach it to like patina and geisha, and trying to basically assume that maybe we did some kind of mixed breeding, got all these wild colors. But the reality is that seal, which is what this color is called, is just a variation of black. Now I will say that there is a lot of like unknown science behind how it happens, but we do know that it is a variation. It is a mutation of black. So any black dog, and I believe it's dominant black dog, can throw a seal dog, which is this, very faded, come here girl, black. Now, some people may like it, some people may not like it. For me, I don't consider color to be a super important factor when selecting back for breeding. It's typically pretty easy to fix if you do have a problem with it. Like you can breed away from it if it's a big deal to you. But for me, I'm all about producing healthy dogs that are structurally sound and have good temperament and good breed type. And if their color just so happens to be a different variation of a correct color, like in the case of patina and geisha, then in this female, then I don't care. I'm not gonna feel any kind of way about it. And for reference, patina and geisha are the two females that I have that have they're basically fawn dogs with a lot of what in our breed we call carbon. In other breeds they call it sabling, but it's basically black hairs that cover a fawn dog. Now, all fawn dogs, not all of, some of them have the clear gene, like Nirvana doesn't have any carbon at all. She is negative for carbon, or I would say negative for sable. Psh, move. But but if you have a fawn dog that does carry the sable gene and does have that, then they will have some dispersing of black hairs over their body. Nirvana has them, Blondie has them on her. A little bit running down her back. She has some on the top of her head. I think she's even got some on her chest. And there are varying degrees of how far those black hairs will kind of spread and cover. And these females just have a very extreme version of that. And so, if we don't want to see that again, then we can breed away from it by breeding to like a dominant black and producing black puppies and then moving on from that. But like I said, it is 100% normal in the breed. It's historically accurate. There have been dogs that, quit, get away from my space now. Go. You will not play that rough by me. Go. Now. You will not run into me. No. And so anyway, so it's, like I said, historically accurate. It's been seen in the breed before. And interesting. A little bug on me. Sorry, I had to get that. So yeah, so, you know, we're not working with colors that are not well within the standard and well within normal breeding practices. Vienna. Good girl. Don't you mess with my tree, sweet baby. Are you a sweet baby girl? Are you a sweet baby girl? Yes, you are. Good girl. Just a squishy booty. Oh, the booty. Oh, the booty. It's a baby booty. You're a sweet baby. Come on. You're a sweet baby. You baby. See how her face is darker? It's really wild. Her face is darker. Her feet are darker. And then it fades up to the brown. Which is wild because in the case of patina and geisha, they have this carbon on them, which really affects the guard hairs, the outer hairs. So anywhere that their body doesn't have a lot of guard hairs, like on their feet and legs, there's less of that darkness. So they get lighter around there. And it's pretty interesting. And they're both pretty different too. Like patina, as you saw yesterday in the video, her coat is not as dark as her sister's. And in fact, what's wild is that the black dark hairs that were on her body have actually turned almost more of this color, like a seal color. It's pretty wild. And then her sister Geisha still is a darker. She's much darker. Now, funny story is both of those females were born completely black, and then they slowly started to show that as their coat grew out and the undercoat started to show through. So anyway, cool stuff. Today I'm gonna be doing a video on my Life of Senza channel because I've got I'm going to be putting together my pens, my chicken pens out there. So I've got a bunch of panels over there we're going to be putting together, and I'm going to start separating my breeding groups of chickens. So I'm pretty excited about it. I've been hatching out a lot of chicks, and I've got quite a few available, but they're not the colors that I'm trying to produce yet. So now I'm going to start really going through and starting to do what we would call selective breeding. So anyway, hope y'all are having a good day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye.